Oh, yes. Look at this. We've already got the laughs and the smiles going on because, wow, what a fine Saturday afternoon it is right now. I had Mr. Mike Love Jones. Oh, you son of a biscuit. Well, we had Mr. Mike Love Jones on at noontime. What a lot of love. And now look who we got. It's Donkey Cade with Stirring the Pot. Oh, it's Donkey Cade Stirring the Pot with my very special guests, if you will, on the fan roundtable. We've got one Mike Drinkwater. Thank you, my friend, for joining us today. I appreciate it. We've got one friend, Erick, kicking back, drinking on a pale ale, if you will, or some kind of ale. Thank you for spending the time with us. Oh, look at that. We've got the woo guy himself with what's his or her name?
That's Bobo.
Did you say Pitbull?
No, Bobo. Like, I named him after Bo Dallas. Bobo.
Oh, Bo. Oh, okay. Bo don't know. One Mr. Jim Kulik, thank you for spending the time with us and doing doggy duty at the same time. I appreciate that. And then we've got oh, friend Erick's gonna fall off his fucking chair. And we've got the prof. We call him the prof because he knows a tons and tons of wrestling. My man Rick Dos Santo, thank you for spending the time with us, my friend.
Thank you.
And then we've got, to round it off, he looks like Santa Claus. He's getting that nice Abe Lincoln kicking back. We love that look of one brother Bob, we call him on the show. Thank you, Bob Thorpe, for coming in and spending the time with us on the fan roundtable.
I'll give you the whole bunch.
Oh, God, it's going to be one of those. This is going to be fantastic. I have a special guest locked in that you guys are going to never expect. Some of you might know him. Some of you might not. And if you don't, shame on you, because we are seeing an evolution. We love talking evolution of character on this show, boy. And we are seeing an evolution of my special guest coming in, our special guest coming in today. And you guys are going to love this. So enough of my rambling. I kind of want to go to Mr. Bob Thorpe right off the ripper on this because he's been really excited to get back into racing cars, getting his mojo back on the racetrack. Not only that, but he's taken the drone to the air and taking some cool video. Mr. Thorpe, talk to us about how everything's going on with the racing and the drone and everything. You look like you're having tons of fun, my man.
Oh, it's wonderful, yeah, but it takes a little while to get back in the groove. The rust is very air apparent. I mean, the car was fast, but I don't know if it's because of my age, but the cornering wasn't there. So it's a lot of fun. I do have a Pittsburgh now. It's they call it RC excitement. Good time. You guys, like Mr. and Erick over here, pretty close.
Well, I'd like to say, if I understood one word, that would be fantastic. But there's really something going on with your microphone. It's very blur. I don't hear anything that you're saying, my man, and I apologize. I hope maybe we could get something. Is it your phone? Do you have a flip phone? What are you using right now?
I actually use a Galaxy S9.
Oh, wow. Now that I kind of understood, a Galaxy S9, it should sound a little better. Don't know what's going on. Hopefully, maybe it sounds a little better. I love your beautiful beard. I think you're looking fantastic, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, brother Bob, just out of curiosity, do you wear earbuds at all? Because that might be fantastic for the fan roundtable. If you have some earbuds or something.
I don't have any earbuds. I'd have to look.
Oh, okay. That's all right. I just would rather, be able to, have you in on the conversation and be a little more audible, if you will, because it is kind of tough hearing you. Now, I want to go to the prof. He's wearing a fine shirt today, representing one of the men that has totally paved the way for many wrestlers in the industry. Terry Funk, the prof, is that something that you got in one of your mystery crates, if you will?
Actually, no. I actually did order this.
Oh,
Hook me up, though.
Nice.
Same company,
Now,
though. Same company.
did you order through Pro Wrestling Tees? Because right now, it's a
Yep.
little tough getting your order through Pro Wrestling Tees with everything going on in the world right now. They've had some trouble down in their area and such.
Yep.
Do you order through Pro Wrestling Tees regularly as well?
Oh, all the time. Probably once, at least twice a month. Yeah. They've been
Have you
running some bad luck lately, but they're starting to get back.
have you had any bad luck with the shipment time? Because I know they are going through a little bit of rough spat right now with broken windows and all sorts of shit going on
Yeah.
down.
That's really sad considering all that they do for the business. They so far things have only been like maybe a couple days late or like 5 days late at the most. Nothing too crazy so far. So they've actually been on top of the game still,
Nice.
even though they've been
Very cool.
strapped as well. So
Yeah. I love your unveilings of the uncratings. I really dig that because I never used to be into that much, but then wow. Actually totally forgot about what we were talking about before we hit record, and that thing just flew right in front of my face, literally. So that's off the table. I love the I love the opening of the mystery crates. I watch all of them now, and it's fantastic. If you don't follow Mr. Del Santo, how do we follow you on the YouTube and check out your stuff?
you can find me on YouTube, The Professor with Del Santo. Subscribe and set your notifications because I'm doing videos like once or twice a week now. I got probably 30 Blu-rays coming this week. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, you got a
Awesome.
really good deal. Yeah.
Very cool. Love to see you with the new product that's a cool thing about the mystery stuff is you never know what you're going to get. Jim Kulik was frozen for a while, but now he's bounced. We'll see where that goes. We've got about 7 minutes until we bring in our special guest. I cannot wait for that. Now, Mr. Drinkwater, who are you sporting there on your shirt? What's going on there?
I'm kind of going non-wrestling today. I kind of got a Scarface on today. I felt like representing Scarface for some reason. So that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Hey, I have to agree with you there. We love us some Scarface. Hey, Mr. Kulik is back, I see. We're going to swoop him over there. Probably doggy duty. That's okay. But Mr. Drink, we can't do that. Hold on. We have a late entry. Let me do this. Let me add. Hold on 1 second. I apologize. Add. I think somebody wants to join in. That was supposed to join in earlier. He reached out, and here we go. It's one Mr. Chris Silvestri is actually joining the soiree.
Whoa.
Couldn't
there
figure
he
out
is.
this whole Skype thing. I haven't done it in like 3 years.
There he is.
Well, there we go. Okay.
Jim, can you give me
Right.
a big woo?
Woo! CS in the house, baby. I love it.
What's up, Eric? What's up,
How we
dude?
doing, my friend?
Mr. Silvestri, thank you for joining the soiree, if you will. This is Mr. Silvestri's first time on the Fan Roundtable. Some of us know him. Some of us don't know him, so I'm going to go around real quick. You know Drinkwater. You know Jim Kulik. You know friend Erick. But you might not know Brother Bob with the Santa Claus beard. That's Brother Bob, Chris Silvestri. And you might not know, we call him the Prof, Rick Del Santo. He's wearing the Terry Funk shirt. Welcome,
I've
everybody.
heard a lot
to the
about
Fan.
him. He's a good guy. I think I've seen him at a few events.
Oh, awesome. Very cool.
I'm really enjoying all your guys' shows. The Kincaid Files, Doodle Waters, Lotto and Chat. We got the Woo Crew, you know.
Wow.
That's
I
it, baby.
appreciate that, my man. Because we are at a very odd time in the world. Never ever been seen like this in wrestling or in life in itself. So we have to keep ourselves busy and try to keep that positive vibe going. So what better thing to hang out and talk with friends, and we hang out and talk wrestling. So
withdrawals from going to events.
dude, I am so I miss it so much, and I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do Well, being said though, I ended up recording a match for Battlefront Pro Wrestling, which was fantastic, and we had a great time. It was a hardcore match.
That was awesome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. What a fantastic.
I've yet to have been to a Battleground show. I haven't been able to get out to one, but I'm going to definitely go to one when they come back.
Oh, well, cool. If you go to a Battleground show, you'll be at a different show than us because we go to Battlefront.
Oh, Battlefront.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then now you know I haven't been to a show. I've heard a lot of great things about the Battleground or Battlefront. Oh, hey, we got Sam number 2 in the house?
Hey, he's working it. He's working it.
That's it. You got to realize something, Chris. On this show, you get a bunch of crap when you shave your beard down. Oh, my God. These guys are relentless.
Yeah, cool.
Or
if you too. I had something go. Doodlewater has Doodlewater. You got anything on there?
No, and that's the flip side of it. We get mad at Brother Bob and Brother Kulik if they shave their shit, but Drinkwater can't grow a damn chin beard to save his ass. I mean, holy crap! It's
like him trying to hit on a scratch ticket.
Friend Eric, I'd kind of like to go to you. We like representing our favorite men and women in the industry. Who are you sporting right now?
We got the one and only, the solid Heck Dynamite. I thought it was kind of befitting for the week that we've been having.
Absolutely. And you know, he went and did his thing, which I was very proud of him to do. That was very amazing.
Yes.
If he was on this fan roundtable, he would probably call Drinkwater a jive turkey. I know he would. He would call him a jive turkey. I know he would.
Kincaid, he has before.
Oh man, and I missed it. So what we like to do is, Mr. Silvestri, we have a lot of fun. We talk talent. We talk promotions. We end up sometimes talking maybe a little NXT like we did last week. We sometimes talk WWE, Impact, and AEW and such. We kind of mix it up a lot. But all we do on this show is 2 things. We don't get political. We don't talk no religious stuff because
thank God.
That's shaky ground. You don't want to get into that mess. And another thing we do is we always uplift the talent and the promotions. We don't like to get down on the promotions and talent or nothing. That's not what we do here. We like to uplift everybody. So that's what we like to do, is have a lot of fun and uplift our talent and promotions. And speaking of, let's see, how do I do this? Let's see. Mr. Silvestri, why don't you take us into something, because I'm going to go try to get our very special surprise guest. I never tell anybody who's coming in. And I know you guys are going to like this.
Well, hold on a second. Wait a minute. You know something? You did not do tradition. I need to guess your thing. Come on, let's hear it. Come on, Kincaid.
I kind of already did, but you were fucking...
I need it though. Come on, brother. It's like, it's like that nicotine right there, baby. Come on, let me hear it. Come on, give me one, baby.
With my very special guests, if you will, I've got the Prof, I've got the Drinkwater, I've got the Silvestri, I've got the Hunting, I've got the Sulfur, and I've got the Woo guy himself. Woo, Mr. Kulik. Woo. Oh, that's fantastic. Yes, sir.
I needed that one, bro. Like I said, man, that's like caffeine in the coffee, baby.
Caffeine in the coffee. I like that.
Mr. Silvestri, if you could, real quick, why don't you kind of talk about the match that we were just talking about, the Dirtbag Dan versus Ryan Frost? I'm going to get our surprise guest in here. If I cut you off, I apologize, but I get very excited when they join. So if you could kind of take over, being our very newest member coming in on the panel, why don't you talk a bit about what you saw on the match that we did on that hardcore thing?
I thought it was nice to have something from the indie scene. We can't go to a show right now, so it was nice to watch something. They did a good job for having not really any fans. And who was the referee? Was
Bill.
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 Yes, I was gonna say Gina, but it was Bill. I know. All right.
You can't confuse the two.
Now, Chris.
But no, it was a good match. Those guys did a good job.
Right?
You gotta give Kincaid credit, man. Kincaid, I was gonna tell you, man, you were awesome as the camera guy. That was awesome. I loved how
Oh,
Ryan. I loved how Ryan was like talking during the whole match. That was classic.
The only downfall, there was one downfall. It wasn't at the DK Wasteland.
I know. I was kind of bummed on that fact, but hey, I was privileged enough to get the invite to come out and try to. Oh, now we're talking, my man.
Is this the special guest?
Wait a minute.
This is our surprise guest. This is none other. Everybody, this is King León, the Black Blade, and
no.
welcome, Mr. Blackblade, to our soiree, if you will. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely, you should.
It's our pleasure. It's definitely our pleasure. Thank you for taking the time, setting aside from this whole thing. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's a war of the Blackblade going on right now, and if you're not watching it, shame on you. Fantastic content that what we need right now. So first off, I'm going to give you big props right there, Mr. Blackblade. Excellent content. I love everything you're doing. Second off, could you explain to the fans who you are if we don't know who you are? Because I like to get more eyes on our talent in the industry. Explain to us who you are and what you're doing with this whole King of the Blackblade, the War of the Blackblade thing.
Well, King León the Blackblade is formerly known as King León the Sixth, and King León the Sixth is dead, and the Blackblade is risen, and it goes as such. The Blackblade Wars. This is not a promo. This is not a game. This is nothing specific. I invited the top competitors that I could find, the people who would actually accept my challenge to the Dead Woods of Behedja. And well, I'll put it this way: 2 of the 4 of them have been exterminated, as you will. I have extinguished their light.
And now I'm going to mention the foreign, not even foreign, never mind. We've got Sid and the Mighty Bosch. We've got Ryan Frost, and we've got Insane Dick Lane. They kind of doing all of this stuff with trying to get the Blackblade, and you've taken out not only Sid, but you've also taken out the Mighty Bosch. Now the only 2 that are left are Insane Dick Lane and Ryan Frost, and it's a to be continued. You left us hanging. Why wouldn't you give us the end of that right there, sir?
I don't believe you deserve the end of it yet. You can get the end when I decide to give you the end. But the end does not justify the means of what these 4 people thought they were going to do. See, 2 of them decided that they thought they were good enough. They thought they were strong enough to come into the Dead Woods of Behedja and hold the sword of the Blackblade, only to be extinguished, as I put it. So Ryan Frost and Dick Lane, though they remain, I don't see an outcome any different than what the Mighty Bosch and Sid were together.
Well, I guess very well put. Didn't mean to kind of trigger you a little bit there. We lost the prof, Rick Del Santo, but I believe he's back with us.
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay.
I got a phone.
Okay, not a problem. I don't believe I see it. Does everybody see Mr. Del Santo?
It says
I hear him, but don't
B
see
with
him.
a dot.
I see a black snake.
Okay, well, maybe
He's
we'll
like
fix
John
that.
Cena. We can't see him.
There he is. There he is. Okay,
this León
Drinkwater's
guy
favorite
sucks a lot,
wrestler.
doesn't he?
Okay, now let's kind of go round table. That's what I love to do. I want to get the perspective of everybody's opinion or such or perspective on our very special guest today. Now, Drinkwater, I want to start right off with you. Let me swoop you down here. Drinkwater, let's talk King León the Blackblade. Do you love you? Do you know of the King León the Blackblade?
I've heard of him. I've not seen him live at all. I've seen him on like Facebook and stuff, but that's probably all that I know.
Okay, well, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more. I apologize. I apologize, sir.
How in the world do you not know who the hell I am by this point? What are you doing? What shows are you going? What shows are you going to that you don't see me?
And that's about it.
He's only going to one promotion right now, sir. I
And
apologize.
that's the problem. Get out and see the damn Blackblade, you fool.
Okay. Now, Jim Kulik, We call him the Woo Guy, Mr. Blackblade. He comes
Yes,
with a
sir.
whole crew. They call themselves the Woo Crew. They're loud. They're proud. They make a lot of noise. They give energy to you men and women in the ring to get that energy back. It's that dance that we do between fan and wrestler. Mr. Kulik, you were kind of, whoa, what do we got? Blah, 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 blah. When the Blackblade entered the room, you know yourself of the King Blackblade, sir?
Yeah, I've been to some shows he's been on. I mean, the guy is definitely good at what he does, but he does bitch a lot, though. I mean, it's.
Oh.
Am I the only one that thinks that? But I know that he really takes his character seriously. That's okay. Did you get that crown at a Burger King, sir?
No, that's not. Hey, that's not nice.
That's adorable. That's adorable. You know, he can say whatever he needs to say of his Woo Crew or however he needs to put it. But at the end of the day, this crown was from the very first king of Beheadja, the Blackblade himself, the very first Blackblade. And if you don't know that, that is not my damn problem. So you need to watch your mouth and respect the king while he's having this conversation with you.
Yeah.
You're always squawking. He always squawks. That's what I remember about this guy.
I squawk, but I back it up.
Very true.
Wait a minute, Kincaid. Let me finish my sentence here, sir.
Okay.
All right. Like I said, talent is a must, and the guy's got it. No two ways about it. But he does squawk, so we're gonna call him the Squawk-a-Lot King. There we go. I like
that. Sir, I would never call you that because I like my life where it is. I like my limbs attached to my body. Now, I want to go to this. This is our newest member to the Fan Roundtable on the panel. We have one Chris Silvestri. Welcome to the Fan Roundtable. Do you know of one King León the Blackblade, sir?
Sir, I have never been able to be in this man's presence. But I do know one thing. If we were all at a show right now, I feel like Jim Kulik would be chanting Baby Corbin.
That's it, big. Oh,
Baby
wait a minute.
Corbin.
That's what it was.
Baby
Corbin.
Now, I'd like to clarify before we continue with this and say that King León the Sixth and King León the Blackblade have been around for at least 2 years prior to King Corbin.
Oh, so he's mocking you. Okay.
Yes. A very, very valid point, Mr. Blackblade. Very valid point. Mr. Jim, not Jim Kulik. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little lost.
At him, Kincaid.
No. Let's not do that. No. Friend Erick. We love Friend Erick around here. He's a mainstay on the show. Friend Erick, are you familiar with the King León Blackblade?
I'm aware of him. I've been watching this series of vignettes that have been going out here. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I hate to see that people are dying and whatnot, but it is what it is, right?
They deserve.
Until the lone survivor here, I'm looking forward to watching the rest of it. Really.
Well, you should be. I'll give you fair warning that this Wednesday at 3 p.m. will be the final episode.
Ooh.
Well, thank you.
Man, I can't. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. That is going to be amazing. Now, Brother Bob, you mainly go to the Battlefront Pro shows. Were you ever able to see King León? Because I know he kind of made a presence there when he was King León the Sixth. It was a little bit back. Were you ever able to see him perform there, sir?
I do not recognize the presence, Mr. Secretary.
Oh, no. You want me to interpret? You want me to interpret for him? King Kong, do you want me to interpret for Brother Bob? Start calling him Squig. That's Squiggy to my left, right? I don't know if we should call him Lenny the King or Squiggy the King. I'm not sure.
But I do want to point out, though, what a beautiful throne that you are sitting upon, sir. Have you always had that within your whole character, if you will? I don't think
I've had this for about 2 years now. Roughly. But for what it's worth, I never brought it out. This is the throne where it needs to be where it is now. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. Now, King León the Blackblade, were these 4 specific invites to the War of the Blackblades, or how did this all work out here?
The Blackblade Wars were open invitation. Anyone who thought they could, thought that they could stand toe to toe with the Blackblade were invited. and only those 4 had the balls to actually show up, one of them even being a woman. So I'll say this right now, for the other people who did not decide to show up, that tells me all I need to know about you. You fear the king, and I don't blame you.
Now, are you trying to see where, obviously there's going to be one person left over because there can't be more than one. Are you looking to build something in the near future? Are you looking for somebody to kind of stand by your side? What's the end game with whoever grabs the Black Blade?
Well, the end game is simple. Whoever grabs the hilt of the Black Blade first they get to face the true power of the Black Blade firsthand. And if they can go toe-to-toe with the Black Blade, well, then just maybe they have a chance to stand next to me as an ally.
Wow. Now, some of you that do and don't know Mr. King León, he has had an evolution of character, and we love to talk evolution of character on this show. Very, very hot topic. It intrigues me. Now, Mr. Kulik, he seemed to come down and call him, a squawker or king or whatever the hell you said there. But did you see him perform previous as King León VI and do this transition where he has killed off King León VI?
It's too bad because King León VI was actually a really good wrestler. I don't know about this guy. I mean, like I said, Toys R Us must be looking for that crown, bro.
Gee whiz!
I like to make clear.
He put him out of business.
Plastic.
No, I'm just listen. No, honestly, I have not seen him in his new character. This gentleman does have a lot of talent. There's no two ways about it. I'm just trying to get them all fired up like I've done, which is good. That's a good thing.
You are the first person I would like to take the head off of out of all the people I'm looking at right now. I'd like that.
But but I hate to say it with my fellow Woo Crew brothers.
Drinkwater throwing shots.
The guy that I think is gonna take your little black, whatever it is, thingy or whatever, it's gonna be Ryan Frost. Ryan Frost is gonna come down and take that crown, bro. That's the guy right there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I know the outcome. You do not. So why don't you just on Wednesday take a look? You'll see.
Wow. Now, since you brought that up, Mr. Kulik, let's go roundtable. Who's left is Insane Dick Lane and Mr. Ryan Frost. Mr. Silvestri, out of the two, who do you think is going to come out on top?
Wait a minute. Is this between Ryan Frost and the Black Blade?
No. We have to figure out who is going to be the guy that goes against the Black Blade to become, to beat the first power, if you will, of the Black Blade. So out of Ryan Frost and Dick Lane, who do you think is going to grab that blade and become that guy to go against the Black Blade? Dick Lane. Wow, just like that. Brother Bob, if we can understand you, Ryan Frost or Insane Dick Lane?
I have to say, the man with the sword and the ego, I would go with Ryan Frost.
Ryan Frost, I heard that.
I heard Ryan Frost.
I did. Yeah. We're playing a fun game when we talk to Brother Bob. We try to see what we can get out of it. The prof, Rick Del Santo, who's your pick between the two, Frost or Insane Dick Lane?
I'm going to have to go with Frost.
Ooh, okay. We've only had one Insane Dick Lane so far. Drinkwater, what you got, my man?
Make that 3. I choose Frost.
I think DW is in slow motion, brother.
I think I think what I heard was So I'm saying Frost.
I think he ordered a nice latte. That's all that I
heard. And we're gonna bring it down to the tail end with friend Erick. Okay, thank you, friend Erick. Who do you got? And I think I know your pick.
It's an easy decision for me. You know what it is there, Kincaid. All hail Frost.
Yeah, hey, Ryan Frost seems to be the guy who
No. All hail to the House of Blackblade. You said it wrong. Try again.
Oh. All hail the House of Blackblade.
There you go. Good job.
Oh, all hail the House of Burger King. All right.
I like how
that wasn't me.
That's what I thought I heard.
You are not going to have a head by the.
All hail Ryan Frost.
You need a couple of Whoppers there, bro. You look like you're hungry.
Gee whiz.
Look,
talk
for what
about
it's
stirring
worth,
the pot.
side note, I've lost a lot of weight during this quarantine, so shut your damn mouth. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, actually, I kind of like. Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that. You have been changing your diet and doing different things than you were previously. Is this to present a different character and totally change of everything you've done with the King León the Sixth, sir?
What this is to do is for A, overall health. I think everyone can understand that. But also for B, it's because, well, if I get more muscle, I can throw people around much, much easier than I used to even then. So all I need to do is just gain a little more, throw some people over some ropes, call it a day, and beat the shit out of people.
Hey, no profanity on here, King León.
Oh, I apologize. Oh, no. Allow me. I would like to beat the shit out of people.
Thank you.
Hey. Family show there, Rhinestone Head.
Stop. Can I mute him? Can I mute this one?
I could.
All right.
I could, but I'd rather not. We don't want to do that.
That's fine. Yeah, good job, Woo Crew. You did great. Awesome.
Hey,
Continue.
you're a funny guy.
I am funny.
Now, Mr.
Don't get Jim fired up.
Man, we are getting off, as the future would say, we're getting off the rails here, friend Erick.
He started.
That is the future. It started in a workout session.
Mr. Blackblade, I'd like to pose a question to you. You used to have a sidekick, if you will. His name was Squire. If you call him the Squire, he really gets perturbed about that. So you got to make sure it's Squire. Where is Squire right now? Is he part of this whole Blackblade situation?
I'll leave it to this. Keep your eyes peeled.
Billy Squire?
That's simple.
Billy Squire.
No, not Billy Squire. No, see, this is I apologize, Mr. Blackblade. I apologize.
Not a problem. I have to teach these uncultured swine who I actually am, and they'll understand by the end of this who I am. Plus, they'll be able to see what I bring to the table, because I guarantee you by the time this is over, you can expect to see me in many more states and many more rings across the United States.
Okay, now, and I know that is going to be a fact. Everybody that is with us on the panel, and I hope besides, just my dad and his dog are watching this, whoever is watching this, if you haven't caught on to King León the Blackblade, get on the face page, get on the Twitter and the YouTube and all of that good stuff, and look up the King León Blackblade. And I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed because he is a star and he's going to be a bigger star. I am telling you right now. Well, what I like to do, I usually kind of do it on the tail end of the show when we have a surprise guest. But I'm very curious right now with what the environment we've got going on the fan roundtable right now. I'm going to go roundtable, round robin, if you will, and I want to ask each fan to give you a question to see where their mindset is with the King León Blackblade. I want to start with Mr. Kulik and maybe get that over and done with because this could turn violent. So, Mr. Kulik, do you have a question you would like to throw at the King León, the Blackblade?
That's fair.
Yeah. What kind of cheese do you like on your cheeseburgers and burgers?
Oh, sons of biscuit.
Cheddar.
Cheddar.
Everything's better with cheddar.
No, I'm just kidding. Can I ask you a question on a serious note? Where did you get your training from? Who trained you?
Good question. I got my training from Jose Perez, East Coast Intensity. He's a legend around here. He's been a legend on the East Coast for quite some time. I actually came in, believe it or not, so this is a fun story, years ago, and the first person to ever train me, and I only trained for 1 month, but the school it didn't click with me. It is what it is. I was younger, but Bo Douglas was my first trainer years ago, about maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I stopped after a month. And then I continued a couple years later where I met Jose Perez, and Jose actually taught me pretty much everything I know. And then after the fact, I was helped refined by JT Dunn and Trips, OG.
Mm-hmm. Now, one more quick question, promotions-wise, because honestly, I used to see you a lot more down this way in Western Mass. Now, what were the promotions you wrestled at in Western Mass? I'm just trying to put two.
I believe the only show that I ever really done in Western Mass, I believe there were I believe two, was Battlefront. I did only one show, and it was me versus Virginia, but it was very early in my career, not a good match, and I like to pretend that didn't happen. And then the second match, I believe, second place, I believe, was my Lucky Pro Wrestling, I believe, was the other place, maybe a little Western.
I've heard of Lucky Pro.
Yep. Yeah.
What's your mainstay now?
XWA. It's been my mainstay for a while. XWA Rhode Island.
Oh, that's where I saw you again. Okay, I
Yeah.
remember now. Last summer, you guys did a show. I remember now. West Warwick, right?
Yes, West Warwick. I've been
that's
there
where
for the last 2 years, doing some change. I started from the first opening match or second matches. I've been in the main event scene now for over a year there. You know, you pay your dues and you get yourself there, and that's all it takes.
Yeah,
So.
I remember that now. Okay, good.
On this show, we speak a lot about XWA. Probably 80% of my interviews, if not even more, I talk about the XWA. Absolutely love that company, what they present, who they have coming in and out of the doors. It's a training facility under Matt Taven, Vinny Marsalia, TK O'Ryan. The students that come out of there are fantastic. Absolutely love the XWA.
They're amazing. One of the best companies in New England, in my opinion. So here's the deal: XWA has definitely lost a little bit of steam compared to Chaotic, compared to a lot of places, which you will see. Obviously, we know no one will deny that. But at the same time, XWA has been around the longest, and they have the most longevity. And some of the names that they have pumped out has been incredible. So it's hard to argue XWA will always be a staple as long as XWA is.
Absolutely, I agree with you 1,000% on that. Mr. Chris Silvestri, a new addition to the Fan Roundtable. Do you have a question for the Black Blade?
What is your dream match?
Ooh, that's a good question. Oh my goodness.
Now is that wide open? Is it independent scene or just in general, Mr. Silvestri?
Anywhere, WWE, AEW, any wrestling.
Okay. So if I were going to pick, I can give you two. One of them is the obvious one. I would love to obviously face Jerry the King Lawler out of the sheer principle. kind of a given.
Well, that was coming.
What was that?
King versus King, right?
Yeah, I would love the idea. I feel like it's fair. I mean, besides Harley Race, he's the original king, and he's held the title. I feel like the longest and the most prevalent. I feel like that'd be a really good nod for myself, of course.
Maybe one day you'll be the King of the Ring.
That's what I'm hoping. That's one of these days. I mean, that's how Corbin got his crown, if I'm not mistaken. See, I didn't just get mine. I actually was born with mine. That's why I'm better than him. But now that we go into the independent scene, if I were to choose one person at all that I can wrestle, I would have to say, this is a tough one, James Drake.
Ooh, the workhorse.
I would love to have a absolute fist fight with that man, because you know something, a lot of people don't seem to realize that though I was all ha-ha and jokes before, I'm a lot tougher than people seem to think I am. So I would love to have a nice little hoss fight and beat the absolute crap out of each other to show people what the hell I'm made of.
Excellent choice, my man. James Drake is a fantastic. I've seen him perform more than once. First seen him at PWA in Cheshire, and then I seen him perform at XWA, become tag team champions, the workhorsemen, if you will. Fantastic.
So fun fact, him and I have actually tagged before in the past. We had a match at XWA where it was myself and James Drake versus Anthony Henry and Riot Kellen Thomas, while I believe James Drake was the champion at the time. And it was one hell of a match. And I noticed our chemistry immediately being tag partners. I would love to see what we could do actually fighting each other head to head.
Man, that would be very cool. If that happens, we got to check that footage out. Brother Bob, I'm going to go to you. It's got a big question mark on it, my man. We're going to see if you come through. Go ahead. Come on through, baby.
I put on a headset. Hopefully that.
Oh, you are. Yes.
Yes. So, okay, good. I got a serious question for the King Blackblade here. You know, what made you want to become a wrestler?
Ooh, okay, so believe it or not, I have actually spoken to Don, I believe, about this before. I was young. I was probably about, like a lot of us were young, and I was a child. I was 7, 8 years old, maybe, watching WCW. And it was not WWF that did it. It was WCW. And I was actually a huge fan of the Misfits in action. I don't know what it was about them, but I loved them. They were big. I loved what they brought to the table, and that was that. And then after that, it just kept going. I never stopped watching.
There you go. Because I often tell this story. My grandmother would watch wrestling and roller derby on a Saturday afternoon, and I was always the smallest guy, so I was like a midget in a sea of giants. I would never have made it.
Who's talking right now? Is that the Invisible Man? Who?
We cannot see him. I can hear him. I see an icon.
That is Bobbert.
Okay. The Bobbert. Oh my God! We're gonna have to start. There he is. There he is. We're gonna have to start calling him Bobbert. That's amazing. The prof, Rick Del Santo. You know yourself a lot of wrestling. That's why we call you the professor. Do you have a question for King León the Blackblade?
Yeah. Have you ever worked down here in Connecticut? Like in where?
So I've actually never worked in Connecticut. However, for what it's worth, before this all started, the quarantine, I was supposed to debut for PAPW, and that would have been a good little nod. But I mean, what's done is done now. It's supposed to actually be part of the what tournament was it? There was a tournament that they did recently.
Unchained, the Hercules Hernandez.
Yes, thank you, Hercules Hernandez. I was actually part of that. I was one of the 8, but due to injuries and due to personal things, I could not be part of the show.
Okay.
Can I add to that, sir? You performed at Test of Strength, East Hartford, Connecticut, at a training day. And when I seen that King León was on the bill, I lost my absolute shit. I go, are you kidding me? We're going to get King León at Test of Strength? And I know that you were talking PAPW, fine company. I love PAPW. Go to all of their shows. Same thing with Test of Strength. Go to all of their shows. Could you tell us, the fans, the tag team you were in at the Test of Strength training day? Who were you tag teaming?
So, this was a surprise to me how great this worked out, and I think that our chemistry was phenomenal. But myself and Dan DeMann,
I knew it.
Slick Wagner Brown and Evie De La Rosa. And it was a hell of a match. It was actually very fun.
Yeah. Now, if the whole table get a grasp on that, it was King León with Dan DeMann as a tag team against Slick Wagner Brown and Evie De La Rosa. Are you shitting me? That's what we got to see in person at a very intimate setting at training day. And man, was I loving every second of that. Now, to friend Erick, do you have a question for King León the Blackblade? Because you're very informational. You always take things in, and I always love your questions.
I had a few questions, and then everybody goddamn stole. But with this thing that you got going with the Behegia stuff, what are we able to know what the end game is here? Like, are you able to tell us what your idea is for the end of this? Like, where do you plan on going with it?
Like with the character itself or the story?
Yeah, like with you. Like, okay. Where do you see yourself going after this? Like, once we finally get through the light at the end of the tunnel of pro wrestling.
Well, first things first, Behegia is actually dead. Behegia is gone. Behegia is no more. But also, when it comes to myself moving forward, I believe I'm going to be in this role for a while. I don't see myself changing paths. I want to be the difference in the king gimmick, so to speak. Everyone wants to be a king. Everyone wants to say, "I'll hail this. I'll do this." Blah 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 blah. But you know something? I've made a world. I've created a world around myself that is only for me. All these kings that you've seen in the past come from places that you know of as a real person. No one knows where the hell Behegia is unless I want them to know where it is. No one is invited to these places unless I invite them to these places. My end game is to be a king that people remember as a standalone king and not just another part of the king of the pack.
Yeah, very well put, sir, because there's a lot of kings throughout the history, and even right now, there's still some sprinkled around. And I feel to stand out, you got to do something very different. And my man, the Blackblade. Oh, go ahead, Erick.
I just had another question because you're mentioning other kings. Have you ever had a king versus king match with Brian Anthony?
No, I have not, but I have been told by a lot of people that they would really like to see that match. Unfortunately, Brian Anthony is only in NEW at the moment, and I cannot go to NEW considering they already have another king. So it's a very weird paradox you have there where it's You can't. It is a catch-22. It's not going to work unless one of us decides to bend our will and make it happen. Unless you guys, if you were to bring it up and just keep on pushing it, I guarantee you sooner or later someone would have to make it happen.
Hey,
Hashtag
maybe that's
King versus King.
yeah. Maybe we should do that. Now that would be fantastic. I would love to see that because, in all honesty, sir, Brian King Anthony, whatevs. Take him out, please. Put yourself on that throne. Be the king of kings around here. That would be fantastic.
Oh, I'm working on it, and I guarantee you it's only a matter of time. And that's not cockiness. That's not ego. That's guaranteed.
Wow, guaranteed by the King León the Black Lady. Mr. Drinkwater. I know it's been a little bit. We've come to you. Do you have a question for one King León the Black Lady? Oh, he's frozen again. That son of a bitch.
Yeah. What's your?
There he is.
Am I really frozen? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Sora? You can hear me? Well,
We fixed Brother
What's
Pop.
your fondest memory of in wrestling so far? Oh no, you lost me.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, now stay right there.
It's like Verizon. Can you hear me now?
I know.
We're the Internet Explorers of this
What's
phone.
your fondest memory so far in wrestling?
Ooh.
What's your fondest memory of your career so far?
I have two. Actually, no, I lied. I have three. I have three very, very fond memories. So the first one was my match against my trainer, Jose Perez. He came out of retirement to have a match with me. We had a last man standing match. I believe, no, it was it was a street fight. But either way, we had a street fight. And it was a hell of a match. It was a great nod to put my trainer down like the old dog was.
Did he flame chop you, sir? Did he flame chop you?
He flame chops fire.
Well, you said you had three. That was one. Could you give us the other two?
One of the other ones was a great nod to my childhood, if I'm being honest with you. I got to wrestle against the Blue Meanie in Pennsylvania. And during that show, it was hilarious. We actually had Squire in a GWO shirt, the Gold World Order, and we came out to the NWO's theme song, and we had a blast with it. And the Blue Meanie was nothing but, though he lost, was nothing but respectful and a great man to be against. And as for the third, was probably my favorite of all these memories, just because of the star power in the ring. And if I'm being quite honest with you, was myself and Richard Holiday versus Matt Striker and Santino Marella. It was a phenomenal match. Phenomenal match. We had a tag team match that would blow the roof off of any comedy spot in the world. I'll leave it at that.
Did the Cobra come out?
Oh yeah. So funny story actually about the Cobra.
Yeah.
I created a King Cobra to counteract Santino's Cobra.
Oh, nice. Nice.
It had a crown. It had a cape. I gave it everything.
Is there any footage of this?
You're gold, man.
So I will actually, when this is over, I will send a message. I have a video of myself and Santino with a promo with both of our Cobras. I will send your way. Phenomenal time. But yeah, I'd like to say those were the things. And Santino Marella killed my Cobra. So this is also funny. After we were done with the match, for about a month afterwards, there was an angle at XWA where I cremated the Cobra into a little. Hold on, one moment.
Yes. Now you guys, this happened
Classic,
at the XWA Center. Yeah. Now this match he's talking about, XWA Center. I have seen this, and you guys are gonna effing love this.
This is the urn of the King Cobra, and we had him for a month. And for about a month, we were trying to get justice for the King Cobra.
Mr. Blackblade, thank you so much for grabbing the urn. That is fan-effing-tastic. Oh my God.
I don't know if Mike knows I took this or not, but it's mine, so he can't have it back. So that's.
Now I know this is a round table. We've just kind of gone around and asked you a bunch of different questions, and I love that because we each have a different question and what our opinions are, what our thought process is.
Absolutely.
And we've talked for quite some time when you invited me to somebody's stolen house that you took over. I don't know what the hell that was all about.
He deserved it.
That was very interesting.
The house was garbage, by the way. I burned it.
Right. Sometimes I kind of put that effect on you men and women. I'm glad that we did have that sit down, though. You were my last sit down interview before this whole thing really undertook way, and I started doing Skype interviews.
Yes, that was a great. I'll be honest with you, that was a great time for the 20 minutes I was there, and then I let that peasant man Stephen Baker in to take over the rest of the interview. But I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I think you're garbage, but he liked you, so I let you live. So there's that. But.
Wow. Well, hey, that's why we like the yin and the yang. That's what keeps me alive.
I'm the yin and the yang. You're barely a little piece outside of the damn symbol. So I don't want to
Wait a minute.
Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear your booze. I don't want to hear your crap. We all know about Don.
Hey, that's Kincaid. You got brothers around this table there, Mr. King. We're gonna swap you down to a queen.
No.
I don't
chill
care.
out there, baby. I care. That's Kincaid,
No
man.
comment.
Nobody
No comment.
More questions.
Nobody messes with the Kincaid.
Nobody messes with the Kincaid, bitch.
Bobbert, are you going to stand up for me? You're going to take this, Bobbert?
I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it.
Now, Mr.
Unbelievable.
Now, King León, now you said you've only performed at Battlefront one time. Would you might be able to come back in the future so maybe Bobbert can check you out and see you perform live, because he only goes pretty much to Battlefront right now.
I'll be honest with you. I don't believe that's going to happen.
Okay.
For multiple reasons that I'll keep to myself.
Okay.
Will you come anywhere in Western Mass, sir?
I'm sure I'll find my ways. I mean, what other promotions are out there? Help me out.
Go ahead, guys.
01.
What was it?
01.
01. Okay, what else?
USA Northeast. Ryan.
Now that's
yeah.
right. Now that is run by Anthony Green. 01 USA Northeast. It's under the umbrella of 01 USA.
Yep, I know exactly. Yep. Okay.
Go ahead, Kulik. Give us a couple.
What, PvP, Western Mass Wrestling. Oh, we got all sorts of good stuff, man. That the queen can, and then the queen can come down. I mean, the king.
You have to come so you can make Jim bow down to you.
Oh, wow.
Chris Silvestri, do you have any promotions you'd like to see King León at?
I'm kind of with Jim on the promotions. I only go to Western Mass right now because it's hard for me to travel. I got my daughter all the time.
I assume you are all mostly Western Mass men, correct? Or Connecticut area. Okay. So if that is the case, then I will make an attempt to get to one of these places. I will say that. Just so A, I can fight Jim, and B, so that I can actually take over more areas.
Wow, two birds in one stone.
No. Jim requires a lot of stones. You can tell by his chin.
Whoa.
Are we squawking again, Queen Sector, you little putz?
I can't hear you while you're below me.
Wait a minute. King Putz. King.
No.
Alex Slater would be a great manager for this man.
It's impressive to me that the noise makes its way through your neck to actually come out your mouth. I didn't think it'd get through there. So.
Ow.
You're a funny guy. You sit there with a little plastic crown on your head and your little freaking beady eyes there, so bite me. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey,
bring it out.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm here. I'm defending myself. That is because he started.
I didn't start anything. You went back into character, King.
Oh yeah.
You went back into character. Look at you.
No,
I've been.
What I'm talking about. I have been in character. I just relaxed a little because I felt welcome. And here you go, attacking my well-being.
No. You went back into character. I was being nice. I was being respectful.
Jim. Put him in a headlock, make his eyes change color.
Absolutely.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Now, King León,
Yeah.
we were asking you questions, and one of your fondest memories was being in that tag team situation and really doing a lot of fun stuff with Santino Marella and such.
Yes, that was a blast.
Could you talk to us about, is there a difference between, say, going to a promotion that maybe you've never gone to before? Is there a different nervousness and different kind of matches being, okay, I'm going to be with Santino and a couple other names? Is there a different nervousness between the higher profile matches as a wrestler when you come out that curtain, or is it all just kind of the same nervous?
If I'm being honest with you, at first it definitely was. Like I've had a very good amount of high profile matches at this point in my career, and I've been lucky to have such in such a short career. But I will say, after the first one or two, I feel it's all the same. We're all professionals. We're all doing what we're there to do. Whether it be beat the crap out of each other or make people laugh or do whatever we need to do, we're there for the same purpose, and that's to entertain the people who paid their money to see us entertained. So we all understand what we need to do at the end of the day. So it comes down to not a nervousness of me worrying about what the other person's going to think or having any butterflies in my stomach, but it comes down to the nervousness of being able to actually connect with the fans, whether they're booing or cheering me, connecting the correct way. Because a lot of
I cheer you.
But a lot of people.
Am I the only one that's like a fan of King León right now?
I bow down.
It seems that way there, Dishwater.
I guess so. Thank you, head in the screen that barely talks. I appreciate it, but you're the only one. Anyway, okay. So my train of matches have gone as such when it comes to nerves. However, I will put this into perspective for you. I had a one-on-one with Matt Stryker. That was my very first ever real high-profile match. In my opinion, I was absolutely terrified. It was I was not ready. I mean, I was, but I was very scared going into it. Worked out great. Luckily, Matt was an amazing wrestler and person, so it worked out. Turned into that tag match as well. I was a little nervous going into it, but not much because me and Holiday had been working together at this point. We were the Royal Marketing Campaign for like a couple of weeks. We're having some fun, all that good stuff. I got to the Blue Meanie match. That was nothing. We had a blast with that. I didn't, there was no nerves at all. And then after that, it just kept going. Like I had a match with Madman Fulton from Impact. We had a match on WrestleMania weekend last year. I had a tag match with Disco Inferno and Melina. I've had a good amount of people. But I'll tell you this: the most nervous I've ever been for some ungodly reason, and I don't know why, was me versus Robbie E. I don't know why. I have no idea. The strangest one for me to be nervous about, but that was
Robert Stone, baby.
Robert Stone. I don't know.
Right. Now, I will say, it is lightning and thundering out. I'm about to get hit with that storm you guys were talking about.
Oh, it's bad.
So,
Yeah,
I'm moving my way.
Are you?
I got a broadsword you can have to hold up into the sky.
Please, longer the better.
Oh shit! I think I'm missing one vital tool up on the hill. I gotta go run and get that. We don't want that to. Holy shit! King León.
Blown away.
I am. I'm built like a candle.
Yes, you are.
I seem to be missing something. I don't know why I don't happen to see the.
Is it your
I'm
lighter?
missing No, I'm actually missing my wireless earbuds. What an odd time to be doing that, especially when
They're in your ears, Kincaid. They're in your ears.
Yeah, but my case, I have a case, my man. So anywho, this has been fucking awesome. You guys have been fantastic. Jim Kulik, a little coming down on the king. Didn't see that coming, really.
No, you know what? Hey. Are you calling the Woo guy a heel? I don't think so. But you know what, though? I got to admit, man, the king can dish it out. No two ways about it, man. I'm just going back and forth, man. It's just all about the show, baby. All about the show.
I agree. I will agree with you for once, Jim. I've had a blast. This has been a really good time. You're not as terrible as I think you are, though I'm pretty sure you're still pretty terrible, and that's important to me. So,
Fixed his nose.
Man, you guys have been awesome. We got some really great information out of the King. Holy shit!
I'm just selling the woo, baby. Just
Selling the woo, selling the woo.
Kincaid, the spider gets it, baby. Selling the woo to the king.
Can we ask the King one more question?
Oh, if you guys want to go, we can still go. Ask another
I have
question.
nothing going on at the moment, so please continue.
Yeah, let me go inside.
Like it.
Okay. All right. Now, was that Mr. Silvestri that said, "Can we ask another question"?
That was the new boy.
The new man. The virgin.
Why don't you start us right off? I'm gonna get set up here in my room.
So
why don't
my
you start us
question
off?
is, are you going to make a bid to face Cody Rhodes in the Open Challenge?
Ooh.
Nice.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't think that there's anything to lose, so I don't see why not.
Do it.
Do thy bidding.
Why not? I mean, at this point in my career, I think that I can go toe-to-toe with pretty much anyone, regardless of what people think about that. I know I can. I know my limits, and I know what the hell I'm capable of, so I definitely think...
In there somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, TNT in a few weeks.
Plus, AEW beat the King, apparently, because, you know, WWE has one now, so there's that.
Man, that was a fantastic question, Mr. Silvestri. The prof, Rick Del Santo. Why don't you shoot us another question for King León the Blackblade, please?
I don't really have another question, but I would like to see you come down to Connecticut PAPW when they start running up again.
Absolutely. Oh, I plan on it. For what it's worth, I do.
So.
Now, at PAPW, is that where you made the connection with Richard Holiday, sir, or was that through XWA?
That was through XWA. So actually, me and Richard Holiday, we met each other very, very early on in my career when I was still training with Jose within my first couple of months. He was there one Tuesday night with Mateus. And it was those two, myself and Jose, and we worked out for a few hours. We, you know, just did what we had to do, and I was still learning, and I got a lot of help from everybody involved. And I've been in the car with Richard Holiday plenty of times for different shows in different states. He's a good friend as well. It's just, yeah, he turned out to be you know, he's very marketable, so it's very hard to get his time. But when you do get his time, you can breathe his rarefied air. Well, then, you know, that's when you know you're part of what needs to be. And yeah, me and him have gotten pretty close over the time we've known each other.
Very cool. Mr. Kulik, let's see where this one goes.
Yes,
Mr. Kulik, you have another question for one King León the Blackblade.
All right, I will bring out my professional side. Sir, question I have for you is, if you could go back in time, back to the 80s, back to the 70s, the 60s, who would you like to wrestle against? Is there any particular guy you pattern your style after?
There are a few, but if I'm going to be honest with you, it would be early to mid '90s Undertaker.
Oh, early to mid '90s Undertaker.
Now, have you had a chance to watch any of the Undertaker's documentary that's going on?
Love it. He's one of my favorites. He's
unbelievable.
When it comes down to it, I've molded my offense, you know, as well. You evolve and you figure out your own things as well. So I've definitely made a niche for myself. But I believe that if I'm going to mold myself after anybody, I mold myself after my favorites. Triple H is my favorite of all time. Triple H for his psychology, one amazing psychology. Undertaker for his character work and just how the mystique really brings out something else that's not just a man. He becomes not just a draw. He becomes a what's the word I'm looking for? He becomes a help me out here. What's the word? My goodness, I can't remember the word. Not a draw. An attraction. He becomes an attraction. Sorry, I couldn't figure out the word, but he becomes an attraction. And then when it comes down to just all around, I mean, I feel like the whole the mouthpiece with being Chris Jericho and all this stuff. These guys all help form who I am to a certain extent. And obviously, with putting my own spin on it, I feel like those guys right there are what I mold myself after. I'm going to pinpoint specifically.
Excellent. Love this information we're getting out of Mr. King León the Blackblade. Drinkwater, you seem to be on a lonely island here. Not that I'm not a fan of King León, because that's why we have him here on the show. But you seem to be on a lonely island over there. Kulik and company, they're kind of on the fence about what's going on with Mr. Blackblade. Give us a question here, my friend.
Well, first off, I am, even though I haven't seen you live or anything, I have become a big fan of yours. I already can tell I like what you are, how you are, and I'm a big fan of the heels. But if you, I don't know really what, I really don't have another question really. I just wanted to just say that I was a big fan, and I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you live.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well put, my friend Drinkwater. Let's go to friend Erick. I've been kind of curious on what he's got for King León the Black Blade.
You in your in King León the Sixth era, you were. I assumed it was more like a comedic wrestling type of thing. Yes.
Yes.
And now the Black Blade, you're taking yourself more seriously. Is there a reason why? Do you want to get away from the comedic, or is it just because this is evolution?
That's a very, very good question. That's actually very good. So, it's not that I want to get away from the comedy. I believe comedy actually is just as important as the serious matches on a lot of cards, depending on what you're looking at. Entertainment is entertainment regardless. My thing is, though, is that I found myself I put myself in a hole by just doing comedy. However, though I was aggressive, I've always been aggressive in the ring whenever my offense needed to be used. But when you come down to the comedy aspect of it, I've done a lot with comedy. I'm not going to say I've done everything, but I've wrestled the best comedy wrestler in the world in Santino Marella. Where can I really go from there? And then I realized if I stick to comedy, I'm going to just be this guy for the rest of my career. And no one's going to know that I can be a tough son of a bitch, just like a lot of these people out here. That I want to prove that. I want to show people I'm not just a character, but that I can go these 20, 25-minute matches and beat the crap out of each other and be like, who the hell is this guy? And that's what I want people to see. Not only can he wrestle, not only can he fight, but he also has a character. That's the package to me. That's what I want to see in somebody.
Will comedy be peppered in at all?
I believe in time, but definitely not right now. I think right now it's time for me to take myself seriously, get out there and fight the best of the best, and really make it worth it.
I agree with that.
Trying to bring that whole package together in the evolution of the character. Number one, it's very hard. Number two, you have to be very creative because what do I do next? So when you try to figure that out, you have to be very creative. And I know it's kind of along the same wavelength, but not really. And I applaud Mr. King León the Black Blade for being creative and challenging himself to evolve in his character and take it in kind of a different direction that we haven't seen before. So I applaud you for doing that, sir.
Thank you. I'll be honest with you. It was definitely it was not much of a choice as much as it was I needed more power, so the ritual had to happen. But if I'm being real, the choice to become something else was definitely a decision that was, believe it or not, in the works for the last year. So I've been working towards this for some time, connecting all the pieces, not just jumping into the water and hoping for the best. I planned the dive, so I feel like this is a good way to go about things.
Bobber, if you will. I'm sorry, Erick. Did you have something else, my friend?
Well, along the lines of applauding you for it. I like the fact that you evolved the character and you didn't just change yourself. Okay, I want to get away from the comedy aspect of it, but okay, now I'm this guy. I'm no longer King León. You're keeping the character, but you've grown. And I applaud you for that, because that, I think, is a little bit. You could have gone away for this whole 3-4 months that we're away, and then just come back as Joe the truck driver and been serious. But no, you're sticking with the King León thing because that's what you believe yourself to be, and I applaud that.
My thought process is: do not fix what doesn't need to fix. I don't need to be fixed. King León got a lot of opportunities early on because I do have one hell of a promo, and I will admit that. I don't care if that seems cocky, but I do. I have a hell of a promo, and I've gotten nothing but better as time went on in the ring because of all the reps that I've given. And I think that at this point, when it comes to evolving, I think evolution, people don't seem to realize, evolution does not happen overnight. You can't just go one day from something into another. You have to enjoy that time in between that the evolution happens and let what fall into place fall into place. Sometimes the evolution isn't what you think it's going to be, but even then, it's what it needs to be by the end of the progress.
It's not cocky if it's making you money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no more air guitar with Billy Squire, bro. Oh, come on.
Wow.
I might just show up to a show that you're at, whether I'm on it or not, for the hell of it, and we're gonna have some conversations.
Nice.
You and your whole Woo crew. Go ahead. We'll have
Bobber, if you will. I love saying that now. Thank you, Mr. Blackblade. Bobber. Do you have a question here for King León? Because if you haven't checked out his promos, you really should, because even when he was King León, they did some really, really cool productive. There's a lot of production done, and even into the Blackblade, it's still very productive orientated, very creative again. Bobber, have you seen any of those promos? And do you have another question for King León the Blackblade?
I have not seen the promos, but I will be more than willing to check them out. And I have a two-parter here.
Yes.
When you talked about, I will address the elephant in the room after I ask this question. One of my favorite comedic wrestlers of all time is Grado. Gotta love Grado. Would you do a match with Grado, in a comedy match with Grado?
I would love, there are people who I would still do a comedy match for, even in my certain state. I can't spoil too much, but I will say this. I have one more comedy match by the end of the year. It's going to be huge. The people that I have in the match are huge. I'm going to leave it at that. But yes, Grado is one of those people that I would love to have a match with.
And another one is Chuck Taylor, too. Oh, God, Chuck Taylor.
So I've gotten told many times that me and Chuck Taylor would have one of those matches. I think people have told me, multiple people, that the chemistry they think between myself and Chuck Taylor would be phenomenal.
Oh, it would be. It definitely would be, man. And, okay, I'm going to address the elephant in the room here. Like any wrestling fan, I love a great heel versus heel match. Chris Cannon against King León. Blackblade.
Mikey's buddy.
Yep, Mikey's buddy.
I respect Chris Cannon a lot, but I'll tell you this. I would love to have that match. He is still very new comparatively, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Even in comparison to me, which I'm still relatively new, 3 years in as well. But that man, he has a lot of promise. In fact, he's one of the people, if I'm being quite honest with you, that I scouted to be part of my House of Blackblade. But as things go, Chris Cannon is doing his own thing, and that's what's important. So we'll let him do him. But I think that me versus Chris Cannon would be one hell of a match, and we definitely beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, definitely.
I have a question, sir.
Where are you?
This is Silvestri.
Okay, Silvestri.
Is this you, sir, on my computer screen?
That is, in fact, me.
I found Mr. King León VI on PPW.
Yes, Pennsylvania.
I'm going to watch some of your matches, bro.
That would be correct of you. I will actually send you the good list and the ones not to watch, because some of them are garbage when I first started. I'll send you the list of the good ones.
Do not watch
it. We all have to start somewhere, no matter what you do. And something I know damn well, looking back, I would not want to watch any of those matches ever again in my life, no matter what they mean to me. So
make Kulik watch them.
Oh yeah, that's just what I need. More fuel for the fire for that asshole.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Man. Hostile. You're getting hostile with a 35-pound candle with a little TV on your head with a little jewel. Okay.
Yeah. I can't hear you still trying to enjoy myself.
Oh man, you guys have been absolutely fantastic today, man. What an episode of the Fan Roundtable we had with surprise guests. I love the surprise. It's wrestling. Why not? I don't tell anybody, and anybody on the panel, they never know who's coming in. We like to surprise the fans. It's just like wrestling. Yeah.
This has been one of my favorite surprise guests so far.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Mr. León's a legend.
Not yet. Working on it.
All of you have been absolutely fantastic. This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special, and Kulik loves this, guests, if you will. we've got the woo guy himself, Jim Kulik.
Woo!
We've got as Mr. León the Blackblade said, the new boy. We've got Mr. Chris Silvestri. Thank you for joining us today, sir.
New boy.
That's right, baby.
You're welcome, man.
CS for life.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. We had a ton of fun today. The prof, I always love when you come on the show. I know we were kind of quiet here and there, but talking to our surprise guest and getting so much information, I really appreciate you coming on and learning a little bit more about King León the Blackblade, my friend.
Thank you for having me. It's always a fun time talking to you guys about wrestling.
Well, I appreciate it. We love the prof, man. Brother Bobber, if you will, man, I am so glad you put on that headset. That was fantastic. Thanks for joining in and having some fun with us with our surprise guest, King León the Blackblade.
Cheers, gentlemen. Always a pleasure to be here.
And then we have my man, friend of Erick. He kind of helped me get this thing rolling, bouncing ideas off of him and such. What the hell do I do? I want to do something, but what do I do? And my man, friend Erick Hunting. Oh, please.
Phenomenal idea, by the way. This fan roundtable, very good idea. This might be one of my favorite things I've done when it comes to interviews and whatnot. This is definitely it's different, and I feel like keep doing this for sure. This will definitely keep going.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Blackblade.
That wasn't for you, Don. That was for Erick. It was his idea. Don't take the damn credit.
You just explained.
Anywho, friend Erick, always a pleasure. Love the laughs. Love the questions. We always have a fantastic time. Thank you for coming on the show.
As always, my friend.
And to round this whole thing off, our very special surprise guest, King León the Blackblade. You have been amazing, my friend. Very informational.
Yes, I have.
And that's why we do this. That's why we do this, though, to get more eyes on King León the Blackblade. Get to know Mr. Blackblade a little bit more. See what's going on with the evolution. See what the hell's going on with the War of the Blackblade. I cannot wait for Wednesday at 3 p.m., sir.
Wednesday at 3 p.m. The last episode.
Don't
break your arms. Pat yourself on the back there, King.
Kincaid, you forgot me.
No, I was doing that on purpose. I was really doing that on purpose, sir. I didn't forget nothing.
What?
I was waiting for Drinkwater to cut me off that whole time. That was the whole setup, my friend. And before I finalize that, I wanted to give Drinkwater, he takes a lot of crap from us. We give him a lot of heat. But my God, is he a good guy? We love having him on the show. Mr. Drinkwater, as Robert calls him, dishwater. Thank you for coming in and spending the time with us, my friend.
Not a problem. I really enjoy doing it.
Don't you go buy your scratch tickets?
What?
For your Lotto and Chet, don't you got to go to the store to buy your scratch tickets for tonight?
I'm going later tonight, so I'll be on about between 6 and 7 tonight for my Lotto and Chat.
Okay, he's going to be a millionaire tomorrow.
No, he's not.
Wish.
No, he makes us hang for $6 fucking. Don't tell me,
Hey,
Mr. Black. Mr. Blackblade.
I can't predict the lottery.
One last thing. Don't forget, all hail to the House of Blackblade. Very, very important. Very, very relevant. Very relevant.
Wow. For us that want to.
Hey, King, real quick. Put a plug out for your merch. You got any merch available?
Oh, okay. I thought you were. Okay, here we go.
Please tell me I can buy the crown.
At the moment, I don't have any merch because when this all started, I actually have not even debuted this character in any promotion yet. Because it's when this all started. However, things will be coming out soon. But if not, follow me at the Blackblade KL on Twitter, on Instagram, the Blackblade King León on Facebook, whatever you need to do, and keep in contact because I'm very, very. Not even have to be fans, but I'm very. I'll talk to you. I will always have a conversation when it comes down to it, especially if you want to talk crap. So it works for me.
No, you gotta love shit talk.
You guys, yeah, that'll happen. You guys have been fantastic. This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid, and my very special guest today. With everybody that I've just mentioned, we had a fantastic roundtable, very informative. We got to know King León the Black Blade a lot more than I ever did, even with our previous during the pot. So I applaud you all spending the time with us, and I can't thank you guys enough. This has been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, Donnie.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, King.